Welcome back, everybody, to the Mando Bros channel. It's your boy, Big Nuggets, and with me is my boy.
Yo, what is up? It's Eagle Heart. We got some interesting news today.
Yes, we do. We're going to be looking at an article pretty much from an interview of Jon Favreau, pretty much talking about the reunion of Mando and Grogu in the Book of Boba Fett. Now, for those of you who haven't seen the Book of Boba Fett, which I don't see why you guys didn't watch it, it's awesome. Watch
It
it.
was pretty good.
It was
It
really
was
good.
pretty good.
Chris Hansen, one of Casey's favorite
Chris
Wookiees,
Hansen, yeah.
came out in the Book of Boba Fett, so it made it 10 times better.
And Boba Fett riding a Rancor?
Yep.
Come on. Just like the comics.
So,
Come on.
I mean, we forgot to say spoiler warning if you haven't seen it, but what are you doing? Go watch it. It's already been out for a while. But
Right?
we're gonna talk about the scene where pretty much in the Book of Boba Fett, we literally get, at the end of season 2 of the Mandalorian, we get Grogu going with Luke to train. Which I thought was such an epic scene, seeing Luke
Greatest scene.
come back in. We see his ship fly in, and it's just like, whose ship is that? And you're like, oh shit. We see the green lightsaber turn on, and it's just like that was just a beautiful scene in Star Wars history. And then of course we get a little bit of a training montage of Grogu and Luke, as they're training. But we get that big question, or that big decision for Grogu is: do you go
Yeah.
back to the Mando, or do you train as a Jedi? And he was gonna get Yoda's lightsaber, which was awesome.
Dope.
I
Pretty
thought
dope.
I was like, he really kept his lightsaber. I was like, he's pretty much Grievous. Luke is Grievous with all the lightsabers. But and so a lot of people weren't too happy with that. We were there. I mean, we had our own opinions on it as well, thinking like, Grogu could have stayed with Luke a little bit longer. He could have honed his skills a little bit better. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the fact that he's with Mando. Like, I love that. I think it's awesome. But I feel like Eagle Heart and I think we think like he could have been a little bit longer with Luke and learned a little bit more force, had a little bit more force training. But this is
Mm-hmm.
what Jon Favreau had to say regarding the situation. So with his interview with Empire Magazine, Favreau said, "We couldn't just hit a hard reset. It's going to be interesting to see how this unfolds for people who may have not seen the Book of Boba Fett. But I think the Book of Boba Fett offered time to pass. You saw what Mando was like without Baby Yoda, and you saw what Grogu was like without the Mandalorian, and neither of them were doing so good. So them coming together was a good plot point that allowed us to jump back into season 3 while maintaining the central relationship." Okay, okay. I mean, that's that's an okay reason.
I
That's an
mean, it just, I don't know. It just feels like they wanted to get more viewpoints by putting Grogu back in the Book of Boba Fett. Like,
Yeah,
I
instead
don't
of having
know.
it separate or whatever, they want, yeah, like this. Maybe this wasn't really Fabro's intention, like
Yeah,
or idea. This could have been from higher ups, pretty much saying, "Hey,
maybe. I
let's
don't
get
know.
Grogu back in season 3. Whatever. We're gonna get
Because,
more
like,
clicks."
we had the greatest ending in season 2 of Mandalorian.
Yep.
To go to Book of Boba Fett and what, in just a few months they reunite or whatever it was.
Yep.
It just didn't sit right.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I love that they're back together, of course.
Yeah.
But like, I would have personally liked to seen a little bit more of that development of Baby Yoda, Grogu, just kind of doing a little bit more, force training. But
Right?
Fabro
See more of
continues,
Luke.
yep, and more of Luke as well. But Fabro continues to say, I think you had to service both things. Just because this kid has the potential and had training, does he belong away from the Mandalorian? He said, I saw this more like Paper Moon, where the whole thing is about delivering the kid to the blood relative, only to realize that whether genetically through her father or just through bonding, um, O'Neill has to end up with Ryan O'Neill. The ending just seems really good to me, and the little kid Grogu is given a decision to choose, and the kid chose the emotional relationship and wants to be with the Mandalorian, and passing up Yoda's lightsaber. Part of you wants to see him develop in that way, and the other part, which I mean, of course, this is like a whole like emotional split, and I think this is the whole
Mm-hmm.
Jedi training aspect of putting away your emotions, like keeping those emotional connections away. I mean, hell yeah, I want to see Grogu wield Yoda's lightsaber and become a true Jedi Knight. But of course, I want to see him with Mando because they're just
Right.
like, that they have that bond together. So I see the confliction, and I mean, who could have said that they couldn't later through season three eventually get back together? You know what I mean? I just feel like it was rushed, right? I think we can agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a little rushed on the meeting aspect of it.
Right. It was just too fast. I was like, a few months of training, and then that was it. It's like, what was the whole point of the end of season two?
Dude, yep. I wanted to see him a little bit more. Maybe not a full fledged Jedi Knight, but at least I mean we see he got stronger in the season three trailer. Of course,
Yes.
he's definitely got stronger. But I feel like there could have been a little bit more to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there is a theory floating around, that because of this emotional connection with the Mando Grogu, that we could potentially see another Jedi, knight train him, and that is Ezra.
Ezra. Yeah.
That's the big theory floating around, because Ezra was able to be one with his emotions and not let his emotions pretty much, corrupt him like a lot of other Jedi did, especially Anakin, those connections, those ties, were really bad for them. But with Ezra, it wasn't in Rebels. If you guys haven't seen Rebels, watch Rebels. I have to catch up a little bit on
Yes.
Rebels. It is amazing. It's another
It's
amazing
a
Star
must
Wars.
watch.
Yep.
Must watch.
Especially if we're going into the new Ahsoka show coming up, guys, as well. Definitely a must watch.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's the big theory. But at the end of the day, they made the decision. They say, so as a storyteller, this has tremendous opportunities for them to tell an awesome story. Are we gonna get this dope ass story in season three? Possibly. I think there's still a lot of potential. But let us know your thoughts. Do you guys think that Grogu
Yes.
should have stayed with Luke a little bit longer, and Mando should have done the whole Mando trials and gone to Mandalore by himself, and for them to have a little bit more of that like being alone tension and growth to eventually come back together? Or are you okay with them being together now? What are your all thoughts on all that for Mando season three? Again, Favreau, we love him. He's been honestly the saving grace of a lot of
Yes.
animated Star Wars and live action Star Wars. So we wouldn't be we wouldn't be here without him. But we just gotta hopefully they're taking this in the right direction. But besides that, Eagle Heart, you got any other things about this to comment?
I just hope in season three we're gonna see some amazing stuff
Yep,
and more development.
on
And
both of them.
yes, really, because I didn't like the whole rush and Grogu being put in the Book of Boba Fett.
Yep.
I figured at season three, episode 4 or 5, we may see Grogu coming back, but
They rushed it with
I,
Book of Boba
yeah.
Fett
So I'm hoping we see an amazing stuff in season 3.
3. Yep. He's pretty much saying that there's a lot of possibilities, so let's hope those possibilities
Mm-hmm.
come to life. And
Yep.
and I'm sure season 3 is going to be an amazing season, guys. So don't forget to like and subscribe, everybody, for more Star Wars content. And Eagle Heart, let's go ahead and send these people out.
May the force be with you, for this is the way.
Thank you.